Warm, round of applause for Daphne, please.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, it is said that the Colt 45 is to America what the samurai sword is to the Japanese. Before wars were fought with guns, swords were used. The Europeans used a sword which was straight. However, the samurai sword was different.
I like
The samurai sword was different because it was curved. The reason for the curve was with intention, so that the smallest part of the sword would reach the target and the rest of the sword would bite to the curve, giving it a deadly kill.
Cool.
In the past, swords were made, but they were never both resilient as well as razor sharp. However, the samurai sword was both. My speech today is going to illustrate how. The samurai sword has a laminate of steel so that a hard edge could be maintained in combat and would not chip. The samurai sword can cut through iron plates as well as other swords without even being damaged. There are three major steps to making this entire samurai sword. One is the furnace process, the second is the quenching process, and the third is the polishing process. As you can see, it's in the shine. The first process, that is the furnace process. The iron ore sand found in Shimane, Japan, is of the most purest form because it has the least amount of impurities, that is sulfur and phosphorus. The impurities of sulfur and phosphorus make steel brittle. Furnace masters for 3 days and 3 nights do not sleep, and they combine a combination of this iron ore with carbon. After 3 days, this combination of iron ore and carbon makes a unique type of steel which makes it 50 times more expensive than ordinary steel. And it's so unique because of the combination, the right amount of carbon that is introduced into the iron ore. Too little carbon makes it soft, too much carbon makes it brittle. The second process is the quenching process. The quenching process is a process by which 3 men together continuously take the steel and they hammer it and heat it continuously for a period of 3 months. The piece of steel is then put into a temperature of 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. It then is folded and hammered meticulously, folded and hammered, thus giving it many layers. The many layers make the steel hard. However, the steel being so hard, it can be as brittle as glass. To overcome this problem, what the steel makers did was, they introduced a layer of clay. The clay would make the steel cool quicker when plunged into water. And when it was plunged into cold water, it would make the steel extremely hard and unique. The finished sword is marked by a wavy line called the hamon, spelled as Hamon. This is an expression of the swordsmith's work of art. The hamon is used to date the sword just the way the paintings and art can be dated back based on the paint brushes in a painting. The third process is the polishing process. The polishing of the samurai sword is used with the help of high-level polishing stones which cost tens of thousands of dollars. And that is used to make the sword as sharp as it is. In the 14th century, there were only 5 swordsmith schools. Today, there are still only 5 swordsmith schools. The samurai sword is arguably, it has the perfect balance of beauty and sharpness in its edge. Mr. Toastmaster.